Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness, Big Apple Rage Down. Our scene takes place on the night of February 28th, 2018. It's a Wednesday night. Quite the hump day for some people that would consider themselves pursuant of otherworldly hobby. Our scene starts with a certain doctor who's still able to walk around going to inform a certain member of the population of Central Park about a certain other doctor who took a certain degree of very certain damage. And this is where we start our scene.
I'm assuming that the phone call is made first.
Yeah.
So Rebecca would ask Saoirse. Here it goes. I can't get names right to save my life. Would ask Alexis before she calls whether Alexis told Saoirse anything about what she was getting up to tonight.
Very in her own muffled, pained way, she would just say very little. That is our rule.
Okay, well, good. She nods and kind of brushes the hair back from Alexis's forehead and goes out into the night so she's not standing in the hall of the hospital while she delivers this news. Oops, my camera's off. And then she makes a call. It's late. It's quite late. Sorry, Saoirse.
It's completely fine. Saoirse probably is either just going to bed or hasn't been in bed very long. When she hears the phone and she sees that it's Rebecca calling. So she immediately is like, okay, this is either really good or really bad. So she answers the phone. Hello?
Hey, Saoirse, it's Rebecca. Alexis is okay.
All right, so what happened? Because when you start out something like that, something happened.
Yeah, it was a little bit dramatic, and she's hurt, but she's completely stabilized, and she's gonna be just fine. And you don't need to worry, but you would probably want to be here. She got shot. You're telling everyone that it's an accident. That it was out of character, Vinny. Car accident? What is Alexis telling people? Because I think that...
Car accident.
Okay, car accident. Rebecca's been using all 8 dice all night, I'm sure. A car accident, which doesn't explain at all the hole in her tummy, but...
Right. A car accident. Okay.
But you probably want to be here. It would probably be good for her if you were here. If you can come.
What hospital?
What hospital is it? She gives her the name and the address of the hospital. Of Bellevue. And the room number.
All right, I'll be there soon. Thank you for calling.
Are you all right? Is there anything you need to do before you get here?
No.
Okay. See you soon.
She hangs up the phone. And rage roll time. And let's see. This took place on Wednesday, which is still a gibbous moon. So either it was Wednesday or today. It's still a gibbous moon, which is her moon phase. Which means it's diff 4 for her to frenzy. So I am going to spend willpower.
To not wreck your house. It's fair.
Not going to wreck my house. That would probably be a very good thing. So. Okay, 2 successes. So she's very angry, but obviously not frenzying, and she wouldn't have anyway because willpower. But so she then she'll head out and
She's rage 5?
She's rage 4, and she would have taken a rage hearing that Alexis got shot.
Oh, good. It's gonna be a good night. Okay.
Yeah. So, so a very uneasy Uber driver will pick her up.
Oh my god! Oh no! Oh no!
That's a fun, tense ride from her apartment.
I fucking bet! If Rebecca knew, she would have come to get her.
Because she could walk, but it would take her quite a while. So she's like, nope, gonna call an Uber. She calls an Uber. Uber driver, yeah, probably drives a little faster than they normally would to get her to her destination. She will tip them. She will go. She will go into the hospital, which people will avoid her like the plague. But
Rebecca's actually waiting for her outside, I think.
Oh, good.
So she doesn't have to ask for directions. And as Saoirse walks up, she kind of, she's been rolled a nut. Be obvious about it. Let's see how she does. Yeah, that's all of them. She has 7 successes. It's actually 9 successes to not just look floored by the effects of 5 rage.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very
That's a really good roll. Jesus.
That's a very good roll. Holy shit. So yeah, she looks like she's absolutely calm, cool, and collected. On the inside, she's like, God fucking damn this shit. So she offers a she tries to offer a smile, but she's on 5 rage and a little upset. So
Rebecca's expression is calm and a little anxious and kind of has that worried about you sort of look.
She had left me a note, so I'm guessing that's what that was about.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, it must be really rough. But she's okay. She looks pretty bad. She's pretty bad. But
she takes a deep breath to try and mentally prepare herself for that.
Rebecca just kind of unconsciously fidgets back a step as she takes a deep breath. Just kind of, shifts her weight in case she has to run. But that's all. Saoirse's probably used to that from normal people.
She is. Yep, it doesn't even faze her anymore. She's just like, yep, whatever. Um, so, yeah. She takes a deep breath and she nods. She's like, all right, take me to her.
Becca leads her in, takes her up to the room, and Rebecca actually just stops in the doorway and lets her go in, and she kind of stays back in case she needs to leave them alone. But she wants to make sure that everything's, gonna not be Krenos before she goes.
Quasimodo moment.
So,
what Saoirse sees when she steps in, it's a room with just one bed in it. Alexis looks in a pretty disheveled state. She's in a hospital gown. She has several IVs going in, several different drips, and she has the oxygen tube across her nose, and she looks to be fairly bad off. You can still see sort of the flecks of red in her nail beds and underneath what a passing scrub wouldn't be able to get, until she gets a proper bath, I suppose. But her hair is somewhat matted, or it's actually probably wet. Probably someone washed that out of it as best they could, and she just looks frail and fragile.
Sorry,
her
I don't know that.
complexion is a bit pale, to say the least. Probably very similar to the picture that you see here.
So even though she tried to prepare for seeing Alexis like this, she wasn't prepared. So more rage and another willpower. Jesus Christ. Okay. So 2 successes again. So she does control her rage, though she just does get a little more upset. But she takes another deep breath and she'll walk over to Alexis and she'll take her hand.
The hand isn't very responsive at first because somebody was probably dozed off in that wonderful morphine nap that she was taking.
Mm-hmm.
But as she begins to stir, there's that sort of sharp inhale, which is followed by a groan, and her hand, just gives enough of a squeeze that she's definitely feeling, that Alexis realizes someone's hand is there, and as her eyes begin to open, the faintest of smiles comes to the corners of her lips, but she doesn't say anything.
she'll kiss her hand.
Gotta wonder if I've gone to the other side. This is heaven.
Nay. I'm just here. She'll sit next to the bed.
This went a little worse tonight than I thought they would. I hope they would.
She kind of looks her over. That car accident you were in was pretty bad.
Alexis just does her best amalgamation of a nod.
Rebecca's gonna kind of meet Saoirse's eye and give her the, should I leave kind of jerk of her head.
She gets to look back like it's up to her on whether or not she wants to step out or not. So Saoirse doesn't. It's okay for her either way. So
I'll just go and get a soda. I'll be back. If you need anything, I'll be right back.
she'll
She
nod.
says and steps out into the hall.
Okay. I'm glad to see that you are alive. Like, even though Alexis is very out of it, she can tell that Saoirse is trying her best to maintain her composure. I'm actually going to roll. Let's see what her willpower says. Barely. She's barely holding her shit together.
Alexis just leans her head over to one side in the direction that Saoirse's sitting. This is what it's like for you.
She'll kind of glance around to make sure that there's nobody around, which there isn't, but if I get hurt, shot, whatever, I don't have to go to the hospital because I'm able to heal.
Rebecca didn't actually go get a Coke. She's actually standing in the hall, keeping watch and keeping people away.
Okay. Yeah, she's speaking in a hushed tone, but Rebecca could probably still hear what she's saying.
No, she would give him some privacy. She's just
okay.
like stalking the hall.
I'm not saying that if I get injured like this, it doesn't hurt. Obviously, yes, it does, but I'm able to heal. She looks her over and sees that she's very obviously not able to heal herself.
Not tonight, anyway. Things will get interesting over the next 7 days from there.
Right? Yeah, for sure. With rejuvenate, she can heal faster, but
yeah, if Saoirse's probably able to see at least the sort of the patch, the bandage on her shoulder. sort of near enough to the neck, whereas like that one was close, so it's clearly not what she almost died from. But you can definitely see that there's a wound there, and there's that gauze there that is slightly off color, like red from where she was shot on that initial shot, which everyone was like, "Huh." And if Saoirse lifts up the the sheet and the gown, you'll see what it made everyone go, "Woo!" Depending on whether or not she's interested in seeing that or not.
Oh my. If I'm allowed to, I'll stay here with you tonight.
She swallows and just smiles and nods. Second time we've almost been pulled apart. Everybody's got to have something to fight for.
She nods. She'll reach over and stroke her cheek.
And Alexis's face takes on a bit of color as a few tears roll out of her eyes. I tried to keep them safe. Most of them got hurt anyway.
Sorry, what did she say?
Oh, she tried to keep them safe, but most of them got hurt anyway.
I know how that is, but did you lose anybody?
Oh no.
She'll nod. Essentially, yeah. That's what she was like, but did you die? Hang on a second. Oh my god. Well, even if you did, if you achieved what you were supposed to, and you're still here, unfortunately, that's my top priority, is that you're still here. And I'm very, very glad for that. I know that I haven't been around as much as either of us would like lately, but I still very much love you. And if she starts to lose her composure, I don't know what I would do if you weren't here. So. Thank you for not dying.
And she just sort of nods, and it's pretty clear to see that like her eyes are still glazed and glossy.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of grips a hold of Saoirse's hand before her head just kind of comes to just a gentle rest on the pillow. And the eyes close all the way. She just kind of goes out, giving the other two a chance to converse for the first time in a long while.
Rebecca keeps stalking the hall until, as one of her passes goes by, she doesn't hear any sounds coming from inside. And she peeks back in.
Yeah, Alexis drifted back to sleep, and Saoirse's just kind of sitting there holding her hand, watching her.
Rebecca glances back in the hall and steps inside and closes the door. She's searching Saoirse's face to see how she's doing.
Barely holding her shit together. Barely. Like not in like an angry sort of way, just an emotional sort of way. Like she's especially being Fiona, it's a little bit more difficult for her to keep her emotions in check. So she's trying very hard not to just break down.
Rebecca steps a little closer and holds out one arm and sideways, kind of like clearly offering a hug, and just says, "Are you okay?"
She'll hug her and she'll nod. I'm very relieved, but definitely was not prepared for. She'll just kind of point at the state of Alexis.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm just glad that she's still here.
If I knew a way to prepare someone for that, I'd be a millionaire.
She'll nod. There is no preparation for that. Right before I met Alexis, I lost someone that I was very much in love with. So I already know that pain, and I really, really didn't want to feel it again.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is, and these hidden lives that we lead.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is.
But I'm just fucking Penny, you got to. If they'll allow me to, I want to stay here with her until I have to leave early in the morning, but
Is that a good choice?
I'll just stay here.
Yeah. Hospitals are noisy, jolting at night. You seem pretty on edge.
Yeah, she thinks about that and she's like, yeah, you have a point.
Rebecca's going to roll. I don't know you're a werewolf. I just think you're a little on edge real fast.
I think she knows Rebecca knows what she is. Like, just.
Rebecca doesn't know that she knows, so she has 2 successes.
She has no reason to look for any sort of, yeah, so it's fine. Yeah, and she'll nod and she'll say, you're probably right. Let me know when she gets released.
Yeah, oh, I will. I'm gonna be here all night unless I go pick up stuff for any of them.
She'll nod. She'll go back over to Alexis and she'll kiss her forehead.
I'm taking the other 2 home. I can take a cup. I don't have to go anywhere. I can be home to take care of them for a week if I need to. I have room for Alexis, if you're willing.
She'll
If
know.
you'd rather have her at home, I understand.
I think it would be best if she does stay with you for a little while, because I can't be around 24/7, unfortunately, with the nature of things. She just shakes her head. So she definitely needs someone to watch over her. So if you can provide that, I would greatly appreciate it.
She nods.
Okay. Probably better go before I scare the crap out of everybody in the hospital.
They'll be all right. They've seen, I'm sure, all the many shades of grief and fear.
She knows.
You have my number. If there's anything you need, or if you just are worrying and need me to let you know it's all right, give me a call. She'll want to talk to you tomorrow, I know.
I'll make sure that I call. She just kind of stares at Alexis for a few moments before she heads out.
While she's staring, Rebecca actually just kind of vanishes again to give her a moment alone. 1 minute that she's there, the next minute, no, she's in the hall.
And she'll lean down and she'll kiss her very, very, very gently. Say, I'll see you soon. You know, she's drugged out asleep, just hoping that she can hear her somewhere in there. And yeah, she'll head off back home. Probably won't sleep very much. And I think that's probably where we can end the scene. So, thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.